What if, after Mikasa decapitates Eren in the founding Titan's skull, she doesn't walk back to the world? What if she takes her own life there in the ribs of a god, leaving Armin to face a silent victory? Today, we're cracking open a brutal, plausible alternate ending grounded in canon mechanics, character psychology, and political consequences to ask, how would Armin carry that weight, and how would the story change forever? Stay to the end for a timeline of the most likely chain reaction if this actually happened. Quick canon recap to set the pieces. In chapters 138 to 139, Armin, the Alliance, and a titanium-nerved Levi push through Eren's founding form. Mikasa reaches Eren inside the Titan's skull cavity and decapitates him, an act that crucially satisfies Ymir's centuries-long indecision. Because Mikasa chooses humanity over her love, Ymir is finally able to let go, which ends the Titan powers and frees the shifters. After the smoke clears, Armin becomes the de facto envoy, leveraging his reputation to negotiate a fragile peace. Our divergence is razor thin and happens seconds after the decapitation. In canon, Mikasa kisses Eren's head, then lives on. In our what if, she commits suicide immediately afterward. Key rule we'll keep honoring from the source. Ymir's release triggers the end of Titans because Mikasa made the choice to kill Eren. That choice is the lever. Whether Mikasa lives after doesn't retroactively unpull the lever. Inside the founding Titan, time and emotion are weirdly amplified. Paths, logic, and all. Mikasa's choice has already been observed by Ymir. This is essential. The cause, Mikasa's decision, has fired. So even if Mikasa dies right after, the effect, Ymir releasing the Titan curse, still goes through. That means no rollback, Titans still vanish, shifters revert to humans. The rumbling halts. The spine creature falls inert. No do-overs, no last second Eren reawakens, twist. But the human cost spikes. The Alliance emerges not with relief, but into double grief. Eren and Mikasa gone. Levi. Mission logic wins over sentiment. He ensures the threat is gone. Upon learning of Mikasa's death, he goes even quieter. He's seen entire squads vanish. He'll process later. Jean and Connie, they break. Mikasa was their peer and their protector. Expect shock, then guilt. We should have gone in with her. Followed by a kind of functional numbness. They'll follow Armin's lead, Annie. The reaction turns inward. She respects decisiveness, but Mikasa's self-destruction hits like a mirror. First, a guarded stare, then a quiet vow to protect what's left. Gabi and Falco. A transgenerational trauma moment. They just watched the rumbling end and the hero die twice. Falco moves to support Gabi, while Gabi externalizes grief through action, helping civilians. The big difference on the field, without Mikasa, there's no stabilizing heart of the Scouts figure to emotionally anchor the Alliance. That role, whether he's ready or not, falls entirely to Armin. The question? Does Mikasa's death change Ymir's choice? Short answer, no. Ymir's release hinges on Mikasa's decision to reject the codependent fantasy, not on Mikasa's survival. Thematically, Mikasa's self-harm doesn't rebind Ymir. In fact, it arguably underscores the price of ending the cycle. Even right decisions can break you. So, Titan powers still disappear. Shifters, Armin, Reiner, Annie, Peak, are freed. Eren remains dead permanently because the Founder's agency ended with Ymir's release. Canon physics stay intact. What changes is the human and political aftermath. You might be thinking, so how does Armin react after Eren's death? Add on to that Mikasa's surrender to life itself. Armin is a thinker who turns pain into purpose, but he feels it first. His immediate stages would likely unfold like this. First, shock and collapse, minutes to hours. He finds Mikasa's body after realizing she never returned. He has survivor's guilt times 2. Eren, his brother-in-arms, and Mikasa, his childhood friend, and let's be real, his emotional compass. Expect a quiet scene with Armin kneeling, hands trembling, a breath that never quite finishes. Anxiety, misery, and depression overwhelms Armin's heart all at once. Rage without a Titan. Hours to day 1. In canon, Armin's anger flares at Eren's choices. Here, it splinters inward. He has no colossal fallback anymore. His weapon is rhetoric, empathy, and foresight. He chooses not to blame Mikasa. He understands the violent gravity of her moment. He instead frames her death as the last casualty of Eren's path and the world's cycles of hatred. Reframing the narrative. Day 1 to week 1, Armin's genius kicks in. He recognizes this. If the story of the rumbling ends as Paradis killed our hero and then their own, peace talks die in cynicism. So Armin crafts a unifying myth. Truthful, but shaped. Mikasa ended the Founder to save everyone. Mikasa's death is the final proof that no one won. Therefore, revenge is pointless. Rebuilding is the only rational path. Vow. Ongoing. Expect a quiet, crushing line to the Alliance. We can't let Mikasa's choice be an ending without meaning. He adopts the scarf, symbolically, as a promise. Not to wear it, that would be out of character, but to protect the world it was meant to warm. In canon, Mikasa's survival gives Paradis a human face, the soldier who loved the devil and still chose the world. Remove her, and Armin's job gets a lot harder. Marley and the Global Coalition, they will listen to Armin because the rumbling stopped and the shifters are gone. But their hawks will argue. Paradis eliminated its own moderates. Who is left to trust? Armin counters with 2 levers. Total absence of Titan power. There's no strategic reason to exterminate Eldians anymore. Shared mourning. Eren and Mikasa both dead for the world. He'll stage joint relief efforts. Marleyan medics on Paradis soil, Eldian engineers helping Marley rebuild ports.
Paradise factions, Jaegerist remnants gain propaganda fuel. Mikasa died because we didn't go far enough. Moderates rally around Armin and Queen Historia. The curse is gone. Survive by trading, treaties, children not born into war. Historia's role. With Titans ended, Historia can lead as a peacetime monarch, legitimizing Armin's diplomacy. She will push for demographic recovery, farmland restoration, and amnesty frameworks to disarm internal zealots without martyring them. Levi's impact. Levi won't speech make, but his presence ends arguments. One sentence from him, quiet, razor clean, can neutralize a room full of hotheads. We ended it. Don't start it again. Overall, peace is still possible, but more precarious, slower, and more dependent on Armin's personal credibility. Let's talk about character ripples. Who changes and how? Jean steps up operationally. He becomes Armin's captain of the everyday, making logistics sing. Without Mikasa, Jean's protective instincts refocus on keeping the team alive in peace. Connie leans into relief and repatriation work. He finds meaning in reuniting families that Titans once stole. Annie quietly becomes Armin's hard truth advisor. She respects the choice to end cycles, but watches for naivete in talks. Their bond deepens, not as romance fan service, but as mutual recognition. 2 kids that grew up too fast. Gabby and Falco, symbolic bridge. Gabby's atonement arc and Falco's empathy become proof points that enemy children can become future citizens. Historia protects civil space against both revenge laws and chaos. With the curse gone, she champions education and cultural exchange, the antidote to dehumanization. Levi visits graves, then mentors a small, non-glamorous corps. He refuses monuments. He insists on maintenance, roads, clinics, and the kind of quiet life Hanji would have loved. Is Mikasa's unaliving tactics in character? We have to be honest. Mikasa's arc is about learning to love without a chain, trading obsession for choice. In canon, she makes that choice and then lives with it, a harder, braver road. But the moment after decapitating Eren is the most psychologically volatile second of her life. She just killed the person she loved since childhood. Her identity, protector, comrade, home, has no object. The battlefield offers no hand to hold, and the future is a blank cliff. Given those pressures, her suicide is plausible, not inevitable, but tragically consistent with a heart that would rather break than live in a world she just made safe by destroying her own dream. That's why, if it happened, the theme doesn't collapse, it tightens. Ending cycles demands everything, and sometimes the hero can't see the day she saved. If you're asking what could be happening in Mikasa's mind, why did she eliminate herself? In this timeline, let's talk about exactly what was likely going on inside her head. This personality is lore accurate to Mikasa, by the way. Inner voice, sparse, unadorned. I did what only I could do. The world is safer. Eren is gone. The promise I lived by is gone. What is left for my hands to do? Mikasa has always been economical with words, but not with meaning. In the skull, the calculus is brutal and simple. I fulfilled the duty. She has done the necessary, unforgivable act to stop the rumbling. The Ackerman engine is suddenly purposeless. Canon makes clear the Ackerman aren't mind-controlled, but they are wired for decisive protection. Removing her lifelong object of protection leaves a physiological and psychological whiplash. I took his dream and mine. The scarf symbolized home. The cabin dream symbolized an escape neither of them could earn. By killing Eren, she chose the world over that home, and the dream popped like a bubble. Armin can lead. I was the blade. She has never wanted to be the voice of history. She's been its necessary edge. With the task done, disappearing can feel like tidying the battlefield. If I stay, I carry the memory forever. If I go, I stop hurting anyone else. That's not weakness. It's her protective logic misfiring inward.
So, why was this close to happening?
This isn't out of character. It's a razor's edge she could have stepped over. Self-sacrifice is her baseline. From childhood through the Scouts, Mikasa repeatedly chooses her life as currency for others. Trading herself for the group is familiar terrain. All at once, loss. She kills Eren and ends her own dream in one motion. There's no decompression, no Armin hug, no safe room. Just bone, wind, and silence. The choice that breaks you. Ymir's release requires Mikasa to reject the codependent fantasy. She does it, but that same clarity can implode into I'm a weapon without a war. Isolation in the moment. Everyone is fighting elsewhere. The exact second after the kiss and the cut, she's physically and emotionally alone. Prime conditions for a catastrophic, instantaneous decision. Why she didn't do it, and why we're lucky she lived. As we've all witnessed, Mikasa since childhood has literally been through all kinds of hell. Any other sane person would choose to jump over the edge and call it quits. And yet, she doesn't step over that edge. The text leaves us strong reasons. She still protects, just differently. Mikasa's love has always been action. Living on becomes her new act of protection. Protect the meaning of her choice. Protect the peace Armin must build. Protect the memory of the boy who wanted freedom but lost the path. The scarf becomes a mission, not a chain. She keeps it, not to stay trapped in the past, but to guard the future the scarf now represents. A home that includes everyone, not just Eren. Armin and the others exist in her horizon. Even if they're not beside her in the skull, their place in her life is real. Mikasa is loyal to a fault. She will not add another weight on Armin's shoulders when he needs her existence to stabilize the narrative of peace. Ackerman clarity, not collapse. When the target is gone, an Ackerman doesn't mechanically shut down. They decide. Mikasa decides that the hardest version of love is to live with the pain and turn it into protection for others.
Theme alignment. The series' thesis isn't die for meaning, it's choose for meaning. By staying, Mikasa proves the ending isn't only about breaking the cycle, it's about surviving after it breaks.
So what was likely going on inside Mikasa's mind after eliminating Eren? What stopped her from eliminating herself in the process? This was probably one of the reasons why she chose life over death.
I ended it, so someone could begin.
She wraps the scarf not around her neck, but in her hands.
Armin needs proof that life continues.
That's the pivot. Not grand speeches, not destiny, just a soldier choosing to carry instead of to vanish. We were lucky Mikasa lived because her survival turns a tragic act into a living promise. The world she bought with the hardest decision will actually be guarded day after day by the person who made it possible. The most likely new ending. Simple timeline. Day 0. All Titans disappear. Eren is dead. Mikasa is dead. Armin takes charge. He tells everyone to help the hurt and not take revenge. Week 1. They hold funerals together for people from all sides.
Armin says,
We all lost someone. Let's stop fighting.
Levi keeps everyone in line. Queen Historia announces,
First, we rebuild. No revenge.
Month 1 to 3, Armin quietly talks with Marley leaders and other countries. Jean handles supplies and daily needs. Annie warns the team when someone is acting in bad faith. Year 1 to 3. Trade starts again, prisoners go home, and new schools open. Some Jaegerists try to cause trouble. Historia offers amnesty, a chance to stop fighting and not be punished. Levi stops any violent groups quickly and carefully. Year 5 to 10. There are no Titans at all. Peace depends on trust, checking the facts, and helping each other. People remember a girl with a red scarf who chose to save the world. Kids learn her story in school. The war ended because one person made a very hard choice. Final shot. Armin stands by a simple grave near the sea. He isn't wearing the scarf, but he keeps it folded in his coat. He looks older, not by years, but because he kept his promises. So, to conclude, if Mikasa died after killing Eren, Titan power still ends. Peace is still possible, but it costs Armin his last piece of childhood and forces him to build a world without the person who saved it. It's darker, lonelier, and yes, tragically plausible within the rules Isayama gave us. Turns out 2 heads are better than 1, but these 2 came with a no returns policy. With Eren and Mikasa gone, Armin's running the world on brain cells, vibes, and international apology tours. If you want more timelines where at least 1 head sticks around, like, subscribe, and leave me your wildest what if below. If this what if if made you rethink the ending and made you thank God and Isayama that this timeline didn't happen, considering how close Mikasa was to the edge, then make that like button glow as if you were a transforming titan, and smash that subscribe button like how Eren smashed the Marleyans, and drop your own alternate timelines below.